March. That's on September the 27th. That's when all this started. But before this, they'd put a restraining order on the men. I don't know how they ever got it, but they did. And they limited them to 3 pickets. Well, I knew all this and didn't really think too much about it because I didn't know they were working every day. But when we all went down there, it started as a march. It didn't start as picketing as such, you know, what they call picketing. But anyhow, when we marched down there, it was on a Thursday afternoon, and that was on September the 27th. So we milled around there for a little while, you know. We marched in Harlan, and then we decided to come to Brookside and march. We had all our signs and everything. So when we got up there, it was must have been around 2 o'clock in the evening when we got there, and not too long afterwards, the cars started coming off of the hill from work. They were loaded with coal miners. They were black and dirty, you know. They'd been inside work, and I don't know how many it was. It was a lot. But the first one I come in contact with, I was on the other side of his car, and some of the ladies were talking to him over here, and there was a car behind him in this entrance, you know, that couldn't get out because the first one had stopped. So I thought, well, I'll go back and talk to these other men and see what is going on, because I didn't know what was going on. And when I started back toward their car, they backed up and they took a run-a-go at me, and all I had was a sign in my hand. And if I hadn't flattened again that store building, this was right next door to the store, right next to the store, you know, that entranceway, that first one. And I flattened against that building and them running at me, and I didn't have nothing to fight with. And in fact, that's the only place I ever seen where you couldn't even find a rock. But if I hadn't got again the store building, they would have killed me. And I swore in my heart that day, if there was anything I could do to keep them from working, then I would. And I have ever since. And I believe in decency and fair play, and whether it's union or non-union or whatever it is. And every car that we come in contact with after that had pistols in the seat. They all went armed, fully armed. And I knew my husband didn't sit on a picket line with a gun. And that really burns you up to think they stick 3 men down there and they send all these scabs up on the hill armed. And the men just have to sit there and they laugh at them and make all kinds of fun of them as they pass by going to work. I don't know how they ever sat there and let them, you know, without really, really getting mad. And I think the women going down there has really stopped killing, to be honest with you. They've stopped it. But there's just so much you can do, and it looks to me like due power is just going to sit there and wait it out. That's all I can figure. But I know one thing, we're determined people, and we want to win. But in court, they've got warrants against me now.